Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel. Today, we're continuing our reaction to Piers Morgan and Tucker Carlson's debate. Today, the topic is going to be the morality of CBR, which is chemical, biological, and radiological warfare. Now, I'm interested to see this debate. So far, the debate's been really interesting, and you can see our previous debate about NATO and the war going on in Ukraine. Check that out there in the corner. But let's get this pulled up, and let's get right into it, shall we?
Do you believe in the Geneva Convention or not?
I believe in the ideas behind the Geneva Convention, absolutely. But it's universally disregarded, including by your country, which I think has bioweapons, by the way. You should get on that, find out. Those are prohibited, but I think you guys have them. You're in violation.
Well, if that turns out to be true, I would be violently opposed to that.
But you know that it is.
Wait. Piers would be violently opposed to it? That doesn't sound good, does it?
It's true.
I don't actually.
I think you should find out.
I'll look into it.
I mean, there are biolabs
No,
in
you won't.
Ukraine. What are biolabs doing in Ukraine, do you think? Are you comfortable with that?
No, it wouldn't be if they're there.
Okay, so far, this just sounds like Piers is just taking the position that none of this stuff actually exists and you can't prove it, even though it's been very well documented.
But you said Zelensky was a fabulous leader. Why would he have biolabs?
I like him personally.
The dictator with bioweapons. I'm not into it. I'm sorry. I guess that it's against international law, so I'm opposed. No, look, I'm just saying international law is a theoretical concept, and it's literally theoretical because it's not enforceable, and we know that because it's not enforced. So what matters is what's the interest of your country and what's right and wrong. And I'm a Christian, so that's like pretty clear for me. All this shit is wrong. It's completely wrong. It's wrong to send cluster bombs to Ukraine, which you supported. I'm totally opposed to that. Cluster bombs to kill more kids? Like, why? That's wrong. I don't care if international law says it's wrong. That's
Was it wrong for America to use atomic bombs in World War II?
Absolutely.
Really?
And to use nuclear weapons?
Yeah.
Yes.
To end the war?
Of course.
To save many hundreds of thousands more people dying? That's what happened.
So we'll see if they actually get into this right now. But the big thing there is we dropped it on a civilian population.
This is
it not
what
morally
we refer to in the business as a theoretical assertion.
Not really. Everyone is.
Well, it's literally theoretical.
Whether you agree or don't agree with the use of nuclear weapons, nobody disputes the fact that it brought an end to a war which, had it been allowed to carry on for another 6 months to a year, would have killed many more people.
Why drop it on Japan's Christian population? Is there some reason Hiroshima wasn't enough? No, because they wanted to test a different variety of atomic weapon. So, like, I'm against that. I'm against killing civilians. I'm against firebombing cities. I'm against bioweapons. I'm against chemical weapons.
What weapons do you support?
I guess conventional weapons.
Well, how big a bomb do you support?
Look, if you're intentionally killing civilians,
Isn't it a question of just of scale? I mean,
to some extent it is, yeah.
if you believe in a big bomb and it kills 500 people, but you don't agree with one that kills 1,000, what's the difference ideologically?
It depends who they are. I mean, I think you can say, there are...
So after Pearl Harbor, you think it was wrong with the Japanese refusing to surrender, vowing to kill as many people as they possibly could,
not.
that America decided to use its two most powerful weapons to bring an end to the war.
Now, I think the real delineation there is that when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, they attacked a mainly military target. Sure, there are civilians that live on post, but it was a military target. The difference is we dropped nuclear bombs on a civilian population. Now, I don't think involving civilians is a good idea in war. But unfortunately, the way that warfare has continued to evolve is that it becomes more and more intertwined with the civilian population. Back in the day, we would field armies. Literally, they would go out of town onto the field and they would line up and they would fight. So it was military on military. There was very little civilian involvement. Now, when you started to get skirmishing and guerrilla warfare, where you were intermingling with the civilian population to hide and to camouflage yourself and to be more effective in a smaller group, that's where things started to get a little bit blurry. Now we literally have militaries that are willing to be in the middle of a civilian population and lob missiles and rockets from civilian buildings in order to shield themselves from retaliation. That is also wrong because you are directly putting those civilians in harm's way by doing it, because the retaliation will impact those civilians. So I think the real delineation here, guys, is are we directly attacking a military target or are we directly attacking a civilian target? Are we seeking refuge for our military assets inside of a military installation, or are we seeking refuge for our military assets inside of a civilian population? Military installation is a military target and seems appropriate. A civilian population and civilian buildings seem like an inappropriate place to hide because it becomes a target. What do you guys think? I think that's where the main line is drawn here. But our enemies know those rules. Our enemies don't play by those rules, and they exploit the fact that we try to. And that's how we ended up at total war. And it's not a good thing.
I think there's
that's one way to put it.
I would say it's more morally justified what America did than what the British did, for example, in carpet bombing Dresden. Actually,
yeah.
I think there was more justification because they were trying to bring an end to the war as quickly as they could to avoid potentially millions more people dying.
It's no defense of Imperial Japan or Pearl Harbor or Franklin Roosevelt for allowing Pearl Harbor, which he did. It's not a defense of any of that to say if you're intentionally killing civilians, you probably shouldn't beat your chest and brag about it. Maybe you can make.
I agree with that.
Maybe you make the case that we had to do it or whatever, but you should.
I agree.
You should weep, and that's evil, and you should just say it's evil. And I know it's really threatening to.
Is it evil?
Ben Shapiro to say that or whatever, but
is it evil
to kill civilians on purpose?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Really?
Kids and children. Well, how is it not actually?
In a war?
You can call it whatever you want. How is it right to kill women and children?
I didn't say, because I think there is a moral right behind you if you are literally...
To kill women and children?
If there's a world war that threatens if it threatens the entire world, yes.
Some people killed your kids like your 8-year-old? Like,
well,
how
your
is
own
that
children,
morally justifiable?
Well, because actually you have to... Well, by your criteria...
It's disgusting.
Okay, so no war is morally justified.
Hang on. Who said that? Who said that? Like we just talked about a little bit ago. Militaries fighting militaries. You're going there to fight for raw material or whatever resource you're trying to fight for, because that's pretty much what all warfare has been in man's history, is resources. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. What do you guys think? Do you think we should just find the resources here, or should we continue to be expansionist and imperialistic and take them from other people? And guys, if you don't have the resources, there's nothing that says you can't trade for them. Like, why is warfare considered the way to do it? I guess it's easier to just commit war instead of innovate and trade. I don't know. This is where the anarcho-capitalists have a pretty good argument. Free trade between peoples makes sense. It's when you start interfering and stopping that trade that you get war. So maybe we should just talk to each other more and bomb each other less.
I mean, I think it's pretty hard to justify. I mean, yeah, I'm sure,
war.
A pure defensive action, sure. But all I'm saying, look, it's all ugly. It's all hard to stomach. I've actually seen some of it up close. It's super ugly.
Yeah. You can say you hate it.
May I finish?
The fact you quibble with it being morally justified.
To intentionally kill non-combatants, women and children, I think we can say that's wrong. In fact, I thought that was the thing we were fighting against.
Yes.
And censorship and dictatorship, people ruling without being elected, people using force to get their will. Like, I thought that was the whole thing we were fighting against. So how about we don't become that? And I'm just saying all kinds of decisions are made under duress. I have made decisions under duress, foolishly, that I'm ashamed of, including supporting the Iraq War. But why are we defending it? I just don't understand that. And we're defending it, of course, because we're still doing it.
We want to keep justifying it so we can keep doing it and keep buying more and more bombs, keep funding the military-industrial complex. I fully support Doge. I hope we just dismantle this entire thing. Our defense is important, don't get me wrong, but the things we're doing overseas are immoral. We should focus on ourselves. We should develop our own resources. Guys, America could be great by itself, and then we can trade with our partners from a position of power and moral authority, not whatever we have now.
A lot of people are getting rich, and a lot of people find meaning in their otherwise barren lives. Rather than like raising decent children and having a productive life, making something, they exist to destroy. I just think that's evil.
You think no military action is morally justifiable, then?
I didn't say that.
Aren't you
He keeps making these weird jumps in logic.
implying that?
I'm not implying it. I never imply anything. I just say things.
It's the deaths of any
Implying
innocent
things
people.
is for girls. I'm just telling you what
if you kill, if you kill,
Hold on. Let's listen to that again. Let's back up about 10 seconds.
morally justifiable, then?
I didn't say that.
Aren't you implying that?
I'm not implying it. I never imply
It's the
anything.
deaths
I just say things.
It's the deaths of any
Implying
innocent
things
people.
is for girls. I'm
He said implying things is for girls.
just telling you what I think.
If you kill any innocent people, civilians, in a war, you think it's all morally lacking in justification? Because I would argue against that.
Killing of innocents is wrong, regardless of whether it's during war or not. You should not be trying to kill innocent people, guys. I don't see why that's a controversial take.
Right. You're arguing against a construct that you created in order to argue against.
Not really.
I'm being super straightforward. If you're
Is it any form of warfare that's morally justified? Go on.
Let me finish. I'm saying when you intentionally kill women and children, when you wage war through fear by murdering the civilian population,
that is wrong.
I don't think that's a good thing. And I don't think you should be defending it. And I don't know why it's such a threat to say that out loud. If you're firebombing someone's city, as we did Tokyo, as you guys did Dresden, and a lot of other cities, by the way, in both of those countries, if you're dropping atomic weapons in the middle of town on a Catholic church, I don't know why you have to look back 80 years later and be like, that was a great thing. It wasn't a great thing. It was a shameful thing.
Yeah.
And we should be better than that because we're not savages. Because we're Christians.
But I don't agree with you. I don't agree with it.
Okay, apparently you don't.
I don't.
You said, right on the camera, it's okay to kill 8-year-olds because it's war.
No,
well, it's not okay to kill 8-year-olds.
I didn't say anything is okay. What I said is morally justified. Because when you have
moral justification, we can see here that moral justification refers to the process by which individuals rationalize and justify their detrimental actions based on social acceptability and morality. It involves using moral foundations such as loyalty, authority, and fairness to reinterpret and justify one's behavior. You're going to justify the direct and intentional killing of civilians for any purpose? Like, I don't think that is I don't think that is the correct position to take. I think Piers is very wrong here. What do you guys think? Leave it a comment.
An enemy that is prepared to put 6 million Jews into gas chambers and murder 6 million more people, they are prepared to do anything.
The Japanese didn't do that, by the way. Just saying.
And you have to stop them. And then any response you give to me is morally justified.
Any response?
Well, pretty much. If you're taking the war to them to try and end the war and trying to defeat a nihilistic group like the Nazis, yes, it's morally
nihilistic. Says the guy who's defending the murder of 8-year-olds. They're nihilistic.
I'm not defending the murder of any 8-year-olds.
What you're doing is expressing a species of nihilism. The whole point is we are better than you because we have limits. There's some things I'm not going to rape your wife. I'm just not.
How do you stop?
Well, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
I am not going to behave like an animal. You are. That's why we're at war. You bombed preemptively my Pacific Fleet in Pearl Harbor. We weren't even at war. Why'd you do that? That's outrageous. We're going to punish you for doing it. I get it. But we're not like you.
Not punish, defend.
No. It is not defensive to then go over there and nuke a civilian city, bro. Like, that's not defensive. That is an offensive action. Just for clarity purpose, that was an offensive action.
Of course, not defending. There was no threat of invasion. If you're the United States, I mean, you live in a tiny island nation. I think there was a real
Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. That is a form of invasion, isn't it?
No.
It was not an invasion.
No.
It was an attack.
It's a mass attack on
I'm not defending
America.
Pearl Harbor. I don't think Roosevelt should have let it happen, which he did.
But once it happened, what do?
You attack them back. I get it.
So you agree?
Okay, but hold on.
No. Military targets, bro.
There are finer distinctions here.
Not really. We'd attack them back.
Let me finish my fucking sentence.
Was it morally defensible to attack them back?
Stop. Okay. Yes, it was morally defensible to attack them back.
Thank you. You agree with me?
But it depends what attack.
You agree with me?
This, guys, I find these people insufferable. Like, he is not debating from a place of genuineness. He's just not. Why are progressives like this?
You didn't qualify it. You didn't qualify it.
You did like crazy. You're like,
you didn't qualify it.
You say it's okay to molest children. Why do you say that? You're like, I didn't say that. No, you just said it's okay to molest children. Now, why would you be in favor of child molestation?
Nobody's talked about molesting children.
That's what you
You just said it was morally justified for America
to it's like hilarious.
America, you said
this.
America attacking after Pearl Harbor.
They end the interview and they're like, what just happened?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering right now.
Actually, you'll be saying that.
He just told me what I believe, and then he attacked me for believing it. It's so hilarious. I love that. It's like a species of masturbation. Like, you don't need another person present.
Man, Tucker is really proving a good point here. He's like, why am I even here? Like, you are telling me how I feel, and then you are arguing against how you told me that I feel. Like, it is just, why is there two people involved? Have the debate with yourself, Piers.
Don't knock masturbation. It's making love to someone. It's making love to someone you love.
Okay, but let me just say, you don't ever want.
Okay, he's not wrong, but that's a horrible joke.
You want to wind up in a place where you're defending the killing of children. You just don't. Now you go into any kind of.
That wasn't what I was doing. I was saying there's moral justice.
It's very much what you were doing.
No.
You said it was morally justified to kill children.
I said morally
not.
morally justified to drop bombs which end a war. Yes.
That you know are going to kill primarily the civilian population to break their spirit. Guys, that is not a good thing. I think Piers is wrong here. What do you guys think?
I do believe.
Can I ask you since we're still on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, hard to say you make the case for Nagasaki, but whatever. Why not, if you have this fantastic new weapon and you want to prevent, somehow you're required to invade Japan? Like, I don't know why we'd be required to invade Japan, by the way.
I don't know either.
Like, no one ever answers that
question. They just attacked you?
No, they attacked us 4 years earlier, and we've now beaten them and driven them out of the Philippines and Malaysia and all this stuff. We've won. Why do we have to invade mainland Japan? No one ever answers that question. We just kind of have to because we have to. Okay, I'm not second-guessing the military leadership of the Second World War, but I am second-guessing this. Why wouldn't you bomb just military installations? Why drop these bombs in the middle of a city when you know that overwhelmingly the incinerated people will be civilians? Like, why would you do that? I would not do that.
Because
I would say, I have the bomb, okay, we're going to drop it on, critical.
I mean, the real reason that they did it is to break the will of the civilian people to pressure the government to give up. It worked, but like he's pointing out here, we intentionally destroyed a civilian population when we could have targeted military targets, large Navy bases, manufacturing facilities, like those kinds of things. Instead, we dropped it on a civilian city.
Military infrastructure, arms manufacturing plants, on, a fleet. Why would you drop it on?
Because when the enemy is not making that calculation, you have to stop them.
Stop them from what? Not being invaded?
Stop them from killing your civilians, killing your people.
Japan?
To be fair, they never made it past Hawaii.
In the summer of 1945 was in no position to kill any American civilians, period. So I think they floated a couple firebombs over Oregon 3 years before. But the point is, look, I understand, people do their best under pressure. They make mistakes. I've made a million of them. I'm not judging even Harry Truman, who I do think was kind of a pig, but whatever. I'm not even judging. I maybe would have done the same thing. I'm just saying 80 years later, why defend that? Like, what's the point?
I think it was morally justified.
To kill 200,000 civilians?
Yeah.
So then we wouldn't have to invade, which we didn't have to anyway?
To save potentially millions of lives being killed, yes.
Which ones?
Of our invaders of their country?
Of both sides, to bring an end to the war.
How about just not invade them?
They wouldn't surrender. You got to bring the war to an end.
But
North Korea never surrendered. We stopped killing a bunch of people there, didn't we?
They lost. Why do you have to invade them?
They refused to surrender.
Okay, but we'd kicked them out of all of their colonies. We'd driven them back to their islands.
You don't dispute dropping those bombs ended the war, do you?
Well, I am disputing it. That's what I'm doing right now.
It did end the war.
Oh, disputing that it ended the war. Sure, of course.
So the means and effect were correct.
I'm also not disputing that bringing down the Twin Towers.
Ooh, yikes. The means, and I'll back it up a couple of seconds because it sounds like they're about to transition, but the ends justify the means. Ooh, it's a very progressive viewpoint. I don't like it.
Of course.
So the means and effect were correct.
I'm also not disputing that bringing down the Twin Towers changed the United States. Like, if you commit enough killing, you will change people's behavior, including getting them to surrender. My only question is it worth it? And what are you becoming when you participate in it?
Yeah, but I think
that's a meaningful question that nobody addresses.
Yes,
like,
but
who am I? I'm a decent person. I'm an imperfect person. This is how Americans, I think, should think of themselves, and mostly do. But I'm also a representative of an enlightened country, product of an enlightened civilization called Western civilization.
Yep.
And there are certain things I will not do, even if they benefit me. I'm not doing that because I'm not that guy. I don't kill children. I don't rape women. I don't send women into battle to defend me, which I guess we now do. That's wrong.
So you would condemn what Israel's done in Gaza, for example?
I don't want to be involved in it.
I mean, nearly 20,000 children are said to have died.
No.
I don't
you condemn
think that is a...
By your criteria, you condemn it? Is it morally justified?
That is a calculation that Israel has to make. I don't want to have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
you have no view?
It's honestly not our fight, bro.
No view?
It's hard to take a lecture from someone who just admitted that he hates Israel in every fiber of his body.
I never said
You said that. You said that
Now
on
you're
camera.
distracting.
No, I'm not
Oh,
distracting.
yes, you are.
You're the one who said that.
You're now distracting.
You said, I hate Benjamin Netanyahu.
No, I didn't. I said I don't think he should be leader anymore.
You hate him. You with an irrational hatred that, I don't know where it comes from. I can't account for what's in your soul. I don't have an X-ray into what's deep inside you. But all you said was, I hate
I have no problem saying that I think Israel's response has gone way too far. Way too many civilians have been killed.
Didn't our response go way too far and too many civilians were killed when we nuked 2 civilian cities in Japan, yet you just stood up for that. There's a lot of inconsistency here. What do you guys think?
What I'm surprised about is that you, having lectured me about the deaths of 8-year-olds, you don't want to morally condemn what Israel's done in Gaza. I'm curious as to why. Are your criteria?
Yeah. My criteria apply solely, and this is a thread of consistency throughout my arguments here and everywhere for the last 20 years, they have to do with the behavior of the United States, which is my country. And it's been my family's country for hundreds of years. I pay my full taxes. I feel very vested. I'm a shareholder in my country. So its behavior matters greatly to me. I'm implicated in its behavior. And I don't want the United States to participate in things that are counter to its interests or counter to the values of Western civilization. That's really...
Yep. I completely agree, guys. I don't know what we're doing there. I don't know what we're doing in a lot of these places. I don't think a lot of these conflicts that we get tied up in actually benefit the United States at all. So how about let's just stop doing that. Let other countries sort out their mess and let them deal with their own things. Makes a lot of sense to me. What do you guys think? We're going to end this segment here, and we will pick up when we do a reaction to another couple of segments here from this debate. What are your overall thoughts about the debate between Piers and Tucker? Who do you think is making a better case? I think Tucker is debating from a more genuine position. I think Piers is being a little disingenuous with the way that he is arguing because he is presenting Tucker's viewpoints to Tucker instead of just letting Tucker articulate himself. But that's what I see a lot of progressives do in debates. I am interested in discussing any of these things with anybody because I enjoy these conversations. So thank you to those of you that made it to the end of this video. I greatly appreciate your support. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can use our promotion code when purchasing coffee from Coffee Brand Coffee. So please go to Coffee Brand Coffee, check out their lineup of coffees, teas, and cocos. Find something that you enjoy, buy from them today. And when you do, please make sure to use our promotion code. When you do, it benefits the channel a little bit with every one of your purchases, which enables me to bring you more content. If you're looking for a free way to support the channel, please make sure you like the video, leave a comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with friends and family. Every time you do one of those things, it helps out with the algorithm, and when you help out with the algorithm, our videos get seen by more people. The more people that see the video, again, the more content I can bring to you in the future. Come on over to the Discord channel and join the conversations going on there, or go on over to X and follow us at patriot_USA. Both of these platforms allow you to interact directly with me, and I look forward to seeing you around. You can check out our weekly news live stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also find us on Tuesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern on X, with a space between the questionable gardener, myself, and others. If you have a recommendation for a future video that you would like to see discussed or reacted to on the channel, please make sure you leave it in a comment below or send it to the email address listed below. I look forward to seeing you all around. Take care of yourselves, and God bless. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.